Well, hello, friends. I'm pro-life leader Frank Pavone, National Director of Priests for Life, and welcome to End Abortion US. You know, one of the key things that Priests for Life does is to travel and speak. We have a whole team of professional pro-life speakers, clergy and laity alike, Catholic and a Christian in the wider body of Christ alike, and we travel to your churches, to your pro-life events, conventions and banquets and prayer vigils, to the schools, high schools and college campuses, and so many other venues where we meet up with you and we encourage, equip, and activate the grassroots pro-life movement. Well, today, as part of our promotion of our availability to come to your communities, and also as part of our ongoing effort to help you to meet our staff, we have with us on this program Tammy Journey, who heads up our travel department, or our speakers bureau as we call it. Tammy, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So we're glad to have you on the staff. How many years now have you been working with Priests for Life?
About one. I started, I went away, I soon realized that there was something missing, so and that was the pro-life cause, so quickly came back to start tugging on that rope and get the abortion across the finish line to make it unthinkable.
Yes, well, you were started out, as I recall, in the reception department,
Correct.
Right? Okay,
yes.
And then we more recently had some changes. The fellow who was working in the travel department actually took a position in ministry overseas.
Right.
So he was pursuing his goals there, and then so we moved you into the travel department, hired an additional receptionist, and that's where you're working now. So we want to give we want to do two things here. We want to give people an idea of what you do here, and also what it's like to work at Priests for Life. We've had a number of other programs where we've interviewed different staff members, and then we also want to give them really a motivation to keep inviting our speakers to come to their communities. The invitations that we send out are, as I already summarized, very, very different. There's all kinds of different kinds of events that we go to. Tell us a little bit about your experience in communicating with all these leaders and grassroots activists to the events that they invite us to.
Sure, absolutely. I speak to a lot of different variety of people. I am working with a team right now. You're going to be going to, with Janet, a festival in Colorado,
right,
where there are 15,000 people attending. So that's an entire large team that I'm working with. And then there are teams where you're going to be going to a small gathering and praying in front of an abortion clinic with one of our supporters, and that would be a one-on-one work. So I do get to work with a lot of different people at different levels, various professions. It's amazing. There are, on our website, a request a speaker where any of the viewers, supporters can go and request a speaker. It comes directly to my office.
Speakerrequest.com.
Yes, and it'll come directly to my office. I'll reach out, speak to you, get some more details. And we'll go forward to see if it's a possibility on your calendar. The calendars fill up really fast, I noticed.
Yes.
We do have you, Janet, we have a number of speakers that go out, but the calendars are full all the time.
Yeah, let's review who we have, because we have two other priests that travel and speak. We have Father Dennis Wild, right, our Associate Director, and one of our newest associates, Father David Begany.
Yes.
Some people have seen him on these programs. He also does some speaking engagements for us. Tell us about some of the other people that you schedule, including Dr. King.
Right, that's right, Dr. Alveda King. I have scheduled, let's see, I've been in this position 4 months now, and I think I've scheduled already 5 trips with her. She's wonderful. She's a delight to work with. I love her. And we do have our youth outreach, Brian Kemper.
Right.
That does a lot of travel. We also have Teresa Burke that heads up Rachel's Vineyard.
That's right.
And Kevin Burke. They travel quite a bit.
Right. They are full-time pastoral associates of Priests for Life. Some people know about Rachel's Vineyard, but don't know that it is connected with Priests for Life, because we both started around the same time in 1993, but then in 2003 came together as part of the same family of ministries. So
Right.
I serve as the chairman there and pastoral director. So yes, they travel and speak constantly as well.
Yes, there's a lot of ministry under the umbrella of Priests for Life.
Yeah.
Even the international, we have Bob Lalonde, who travels internationally and represents us in the United Nations.
Right.
So there's a lot of travel.
So any given day, you go into your office and you might be talking with people in Rome, you might be talking with people in California, or here in Florida, local driving trips, flying trips, and all kinds of events. So it's never boring, is it?
No, it isn't. It is not boring. The days go by extremely fast.
You know, in this program, I want to show people, when we give people a tour of our office, one of the things they're most amazed by is the big map that you have on the wall in your office. And that map, as you know, has not only the states, but it has the county boundaries, and it also has the boundaries of the Catholic dioceses.
Right.
And the reason that's important for us is that very often we will have an invitation coming to us from a pastor or from a diocese that we need to know the geographic layout of that particular jurisdiction. So it's a custom-made map, and it's really a fascinating map that's also very helpful at election time, that we can identify counties that are swinging one way or another, and that might influence our invitations as well. So a lot of the travels are election related, right? Because our political outreach is very strong.
Absolutely.
And you end up communicating with a lot of political people as well.
I do. I sure do. There is a Republican club here in Brevard County. There's a north and I think a central. You just went on a speaking engagement with them. And of course, many groups throughout the country.
There was one in California that you were in contact with
Yes.
some months ago,
Yes.
and a lot of political activity. That will only increase as time goes on. So we've talked with a number of other staff people, but just to summarize what you were saying. So speakerrequest.com, people can go there, fill out a form requesting a speaker. They can choose the speaker they want, or they could leave it up to us. Say, we just want someone from Priests for Life to come. And once they fill out that form, you get the information, and then you'll get back to them and start figuring out if it's possible and when it's possible and so on. But we've had some other staff people too on these programs, and tell us, a little bit, like we discussed with them too, about what it's like working here. We have very much of a team, family even mentality here, and spirit, prayerful, interdenominational. Tell us about your experience so far working here.
That's true. It definitely is interdenominational, prayerful. It's amazing when you can come to work and you're working for a cause. It's a double benefit. You're making a difference, and you're also making your wages to pay your mortgage, to take care of your household. So it's really amazing like that. But the staff are incredible. I love everyone here. And it is true. We're prayerful. We definitely ask God to move and to guide us and to work through us, which is very important, especially in ending abortion. You need to, follow the leading of the Holy Spirit, and so it's a major thing, and there's a huge, beautiful team here working on that.
Here, and then of course in all our satellite offices.
That's
Many
true.
of the people you mentioned, of course, live elsewhere and work. Brian is in his Ohio office. Rachel's Vineyard is in just outside Philadelphia. Father Dennis is there in the Philadelphia area as well. So, but we're all together, and of course at different times. Well, will you also help organize? Tell us about the pastoral team meetings when we have those in person.
Right. Next week is not an in-person pastoral week, but it is a pastoral week next week where we all get together. go through all the different things that have been done from each of the ministries, little summaries, reviews, strategize for new things to work on and so forth. But we do have in-persons where I help those that are traveling from satellite offices get hotels here, get their flights, get the drivers to pick them up at the airport, bring them to their hotel, get them all situated with when breakfast is served at the hotels and lunches here and dinners afterward and a ride back to the hotel and so forth. So there will be, I'd say, maybe 10 of our maybe even more coming. So
the real busy one for those kind of meetings is in December, when we have even more of our off-location staff coming for the annual Christmas party. You know, one of the things too, final point I want to make is, you know, as we serve the people out there in the pro-life movement, of course, one of the things you're doing too is based on the theme of the talk, based on the venue and the number of people coming, and you help prepare the materials. Now, you work together with our resource department. But deciding what materials we're going to send is an important aspect of the trip planning, isn't it? Because those people are going to walk away from that event with a book in their hand, with a brochure, with some resource that then is going to contribute to their pro-life education or their ability then to influence other people. They may have materials they're going to bring to their pastor, right? Talk to us a little bit about that, that dimension of it.
Yes, there are brochures where a lay person can help their pastor, their deacons. There's even political comparison sheets that we can provide. They're all available, and most of them are free of charge.
Right.
Or for small donations.
Right. Yeah, we leave it up to the people,
But
don't we?
we do.
Give us whatever you want to give. Right.
So I work with the contact that the trip is that is going to, the contact there for sending that material, work with our resource department, see what we want to send, what we need to send, get that together. The resource department sends it out. I have the address for them, follow up with the trip contact on the other end, be sure that the materials are received, and there's lots of things that we send out.
Just like you say, we offer the materials free of charge. We don't say, oh, you can't have this unless you pay that. But the same is true for the speaking fee itself. Some people ask, well, what's your speaking fee? And I answer them, I don't have one. We want to be there. We want to be there with these people in their local communities. And so when a group invites us and says, what's your speaking fee? What we tell them, as you know, is, you know what? You may be able to afford to give us a lot. You may only be able to afford to give us a little bit. You might not be able to afford anything extra other than the getting us there, transportation and accommodations. You know what? That's all fine with us, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. We don't put a hardship on any organization for that.
Yeah, we want to be there.
Yes.
We're in this mission together. And for those that can't give us anything financially, there are other groups that more than make up for it.
That's
because
true.
they're in a more of a position to give, and they do, and they give very generously. So, but a final point I want to make is the trip plan. One of your key duties is to devise this document that goes for each trip. I want you to just describe it a little bit, because the value of what you do here in preparing every detail of that agenda, that itinerary, then enable someone like me who's out there on the road, or Janet, or Father Dennis, or any of the other speakers we mentioned, enables them to focus not on who's going to pick me up from here and take me back to the hotel, but rather to focus on the people that are there and delivering the message and listening to them as they share their pro-life convictions. Tell us about that little document called the Trip Plan.
Absolutely. Every little detail is laid out so that you don't have to worry. And I must say the procedures and documents that have laid out how to do these things have been done for many years of travel that you've been
30 years
doing this. So the procedures are set, they're good, they're sound, they work. And they produce a wonderful trip plan for you, Janet, whoever happens to be traveling, from starting with the driver, the trip contact, to your flight, where you're going to be picked up, where you're going to end up, which airport, the flight you're going to take, who's going to pick you up there. Don't forget to eat. This is going to be during a dinner time. All those kinds of things.
Every detail, hour
Every
by
detail,
hour, minute
hour
by
by
minute, and yeah. And even the passwords when you're on the plane and you want to get into the Wi-Fi and
Yep.
you have an account with the password, everything is set out. And that's what makes for an efficient trip, because again, we're there to focus on delivering a pro-life message, connecting with the people, and listening to them, because they have a lot to tell us about how we can serve them, about how their pro-life successes, their obstacles, their difficulties. We want to know all about that. So thanks very much for the work, and thank you, brothers and sisters, for using our services. We want to help you. We want to serve you. Go to Speaker Request. That's speakerrequest.com, and you'll be able to invite us to come to your community for the pro-life cause. God bless you all, and God bless our Priests for Life team. God bless this great movement, and we will talk to you soon.